You're listening to Gigi Radio, the one and only Christian radio show for teen girls, with your hosts, Esther and Steph. Hey girls, happy Monday and happy new month!
Yes, so we're in November. A lot of special things are happening in November.
They are, yes.
And just a few things to remember is we have Gigi Notes once a month this time. So you're going to get that and you can subscribe to it for free.
We also have a new artist of the month and her name is Holly Star. So we hope you enjoy her songs.
I've never heard of her and I've never heard her songs.
Neither have I until now. So
That's nice.
Hopefully you girls will enjoy it too.
That's good. Okay, so we also have the verse of the month. And you can find this one in Ephesians 6:11. In the easy to read version, ERV, which I love, it said, "Wear the full armor of God. Wear God's armor so that you can fight against the devil's clever tricks." That is really cool. I love it.
Very good, yes.
The other thing is that we won't be doing a few things like we usually do.
This month of November.
The Q&As, this month, the Q&A, the back in the day, those little things, because we have a new kind of, what could you say?
Well, I guess the story of this month is actually a 5-part story. So we need the time to, so it doesn't extend so long. We can get straight into our story and you can enjoy this weekly little segment of Aiden and Evelyn.
And this one is Pages High. So Steph, what is Pages High?
So Pages High is a high school where our Bible characters attend. So we've modernized the Bible stories and put these characters in a high school setting of how it can relate to us now, making it more relatable. No, not relative. That's not even a word.
Relatable, yeah.
Relatable. So,
and also for you to understand, because we did a survey and you will not believe this, but we had 98% or 99, I think it was, 99% of girls that said they did not understand how the Bible relates to today.
Yeah.
So why do the stories of the Bible, are they such a big deal and how can they apply it to themselves? So we thought this is a way that we can make it easy for you to understand, is making this Pages High, is it Academy? Pages High Academy.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
And where all the characters, so here you will meet Samson and Delilah and Athaliah and Joseph and Adam and Eve.
Yes, Aiden and Evelyn. So we have changed the names, modern names.
To modern.
Details will still be like,
similar,
but something that you can understand of how, it does relate to us now.
To us. So I think this is a brilliant thing. We're going to have something on the blog so you can go back to read just a little bit on
some character profile, bit of a backstory, like inside of what's happening at Pages High. So you can visualize as well with us.
Okay, so let's get into it. It's Aiden and Evelyn, part 1.
Aiden and Evelyn, part 1. Roses are red, violets are blue. There's nothing more special than when I'm with you. Love, A. Evelyn smiled and looked around, her blue eyes quickly searching the crowding hallway as students made their way to their lockers. But she couldn't find who she was looking for. She saw the glances and the knowing smiles of those around her. The younger girls in particular were giggling with excitement as they passed by or looked on from behind their lockers. Turning back to her locker, she lovingly plucked the note and red rose stuck there. She slipped the rose in her dark blonde ponytail and stuck the note to the inside of her locker door next to all the others. It seems you have an admirer. Evelyn's heart skipped a beat. She turned to see Aidan's handsome face adoringly looking at her. He was tall and athletic, with dreamy blue eyes and dark curly hair. But above all, Evelyn loved his knee-weakening smile. He smiled with his heart. Her face softened and she melted into a smile. And it seems that admirer has stolen my heart. She tiptoed to give him a quick kiss on the cheek. Thank you for my beautiful surprise. Aidan's smile broadened. Anything for you. He grabbed her books and walked with her to class. Hi, Evelyn. A group of Year 8 girls waved shyly, their eyes on Aiden, their faces stretched to the limit with smiles. Hi, girls, Evelyn answered. Hi, Aiden, they sang in unison. Good morning, beautiful ladies. Aiden's sweet smile made everyone and anyone feel at ease. Oh, he's so sweet, one girl giggled, hugging her books closer. And romantic, another said wistfully. Oblivious to the adoration of the girls, Aiden kept walking and talking, greeting half the school on the way. Everybody just loved Aiden. Not that Evelyn could blame them. He was sweet, helpful, friendly, and easygoing. He treated everyone with respect and genuinely made the effort to get to know each of the students at Pages High. He was a great role model for the boys and a big brother to all the girls. It was all these qualities and his passion for a better and brighter Pages High that had unanimously won him the title of school captain. Evelyn couldn't be prouder. She smiled to herself as she remembered their first day as wide-eyed and nervous 12-year-olds. It was a warm January morning. Teachers, parents, and community had come for the inauguration of Pages High. It had been a mixture of excitement and nerves, but now, 5 years later, here they were, the first seniors to graduate from Pages High. "Evie, how was training this morning?" Aidan asked, bringing her back from the trip down memory lane. "Good." Evelyn fixed the rose in her hair. "I asked Coach Jefferson if he knew anything about nationals since it's only a few months away. He said he'll let us know later today when we're all together." Evelyn grabbed Aidan's arm and squeezed it. "I'm excited but totally nervous." "Evie," Aidan's voice softened every time he used his nickname for her. "You're an amazing athlete, and I know you'll make it." "Oh, Aidan, my ultimate dream is to win nationals. I came so close last year, but I wasn't good enough." She frowned. "This is my senior year, and I want it to be special. I'm not letting Dana beat me this time." Her eyes narrowing as she thought of her long-time nemesis. "I know what that means," Aidan chuckled. "You're going to train like crazy. Just please make sure you don't overdo it and injure yourself, okay?" "I won't," she said as they stopped in front of her class. "You know, I'll be happy to help in any way I can when I'm not doing any captaincy work. I'll be here for you, Evie." Aidan handed her books back. "Thank you." Evelyn fixed her pile of books so they wouldn't fall and continued talking. "But you don't have time, Aidan. You're crazy busy with all those after-school projects you've implemented over the years." Evelyn looked at him straight in the eyes. "Besides, you have to train for nationals too, and I don't want you to let yourself down because of me. I promise I'll be okay. We can do this." Tiptoeing, she gave him another kiss on the cheek and hurried to take her seat before Mrs. Sheldon got her in trouble again. There was no pleasing that woman. Watching Aidan walk away, Evelyn made a promise to herself. This year, she would leave her mark at Pages High. The morning seemed to crawl for Evelyn, and having a double period with Mrs. Sheldon was torture. How long for next class? She couldn't wait for PE, where she'd be able to spend some time with Aidan. They barely spent any time together anymore, except in PE, and sometimes he was able to make training in the afternoons, which wasn't often. But she wouldn't complain. He had implemented some amazing before and after school programs to help those students who needed extra help. Help not only academically, but emotionally, socially, and more importantly, spiritually. Which was why he was working hard towards starting a youth group he would run on Friday nights and weekends at church. He really had worked hard all these years, but it had been all worth it. You could see and feel the difference in the school, in the students as a whole. The school spirit and unity was phenomenal. The bell rang and Evelyn almost ran out the door. "Hey Evelyn, wait up!" Evelyn turned to see Katie, the media and arts captain, run up to her. "Hey Katie, what's up? Are you by any chance seeing Aidan before lunch today?" "Yeah, I'm actually going to see him now at PE." They continued walking down the crowded and noisy hallway. "Awesome! Can you do me a huge favour and give these to Aidan for me?" Katie pulled out a stack of glossy papers from her bag. "He asked me to print these flyers for the new youth program he's going to start next month. Which, by the way, sounds amazing, and I'll so be there." Katie grinned. "Oh wow!" Evelyn looked over the flyers. "They look incredible. Looks nothing like the scribbled paper Aidan gave you." The girls laughed, remembering the sad advertisement he'd handed in. "Awesome, thanks Evelyn." "No worries, Katie, and thank you, you've done an awesome job." After going to her locker and changing for PE, Evelyn made her way to the oval to where her class had begun to assemble. Aidan was already there. "Excuse me, sir," she teased, deepening her voice. "I have a special delivery for you." Turning around, Aidan beamed when he saw her. "Evie!" he said, smiling at her as he closed the distance between them. "I couldn't wait to see you." Oh please, you just saw each other this morning." Evelyn and Aidan laughed as they looked over to see Lewis, Aidan's best friend, pull out a Snickers bar from his bag. "You're just jealous, Lewis, because I have the sweetest girl on campus." Aidan winked at Evelyn, who understood his signal and tiptoed to give him a kiss just to annoy Lewis, who rolled his eyes and pretended to throw up. This is all the sweetness I need. All right, everyone, gather round. Coach Jefferson clapped his hands to get everyone's attention. As you know, nationals are fast approaching, which means that it's officially training season. Evelyn and Aiden looked at each other and smiled nervously. In each lesson, we'll be focusing on your own individual training instead of doing normal lessons. That way, if some of you have before or after school commitments, you won't miss out on training completely. Little murmurs of approval echoed all around. Phew, Aiden said, leaning towards Evelyn. Thanks, Coach. I don't think I'll be free any mornings or afternoons the next few weeks, so this will really help. But why the extra training, Coach? You've never done that before, Lewis asked. Well, you could all use the advantage this year since, well, there are some new surprises this year that will ultimately affect 3 of you. The small group of students looked at each other with puzzled looks and moved closer in. All right, Coach Jefferson put on his I mean business face. We're quite a small group of students in PE this year, and since each one of you are an exceptional track and field sports person, you have all automatically made it to nationals. All right! Lewis cheered as he high-fived Annie, Tyler and Damien. Wait, so we're actually in nationals? Damien asked in disbelief. No way, how? Annie and a few others murmured. Coach held up his hands. All right, settle down, let me explain. Coach waited till the murmuring died down and continued. The 6 of you are the best in what you do, and the other schools in the region don't have the same talent or the same amount of entries from other seniors. The board at the academy have voted you all in because you have all broken records this year. In total, there are 10 that have made it through. 10? We're only 6, Aiden pointed out. There are 6 from Pages High, 2 from Hills Academy, and 1 from Jacobs Well College, and 1 from Mountain Academy. Evelyn rolled her eyes and mouthed the name Dana to Aiden. She had made it too. Also, this year there will be 2 international sports scouts at nationals. Evelyn's breath caught. Everyone went silent, not knowing whether to jump for joy or crumble in fear. There are 3 spots available if they think you've got what it takes, and then we'll be watching you on TV. And who knows, maybe even the next Olympics. Lewis broke the tense silence. Well, in that case, you can all grab my autograph now and sell it for millions once I'm famous. Everyone relaxed as they laughed. Coach Jefferson continued. Now, you need to prepare physically and mentally. I'm more than happy to add in more training sessions before and after school if anybody wants more. Evelyn! Everyone chorused. Lewis gave her a nudge while Aiden put a supportive arm around her. Coach and I are here for you, Aiden whispered, squeezing her shoulders. Evelyn nodded silently and swallowed hard. Somehow Aiden's words didn't help ease the inner turmoil that had just begun. She couldn't believe she was going to nationals. She'd just been talking about it this morning, and now she didn't have to worry about qualifying first. She was in. Now all she had to do was prove she had what it took to be an Olympian, and impress the scouts. She couldn't believe all her dreams were within her reach, and she promised herself she wouldn't let them slip away, no matter the cost.
Oh, I can see that Evelyn is getting serious about winning. And will this affect her?
Let's find out after this song. So it is Holly Star, Run the Race.
Deep in your soul, there is a fire, and it's burning through the rain. Quiet the fear, focus your eyes. Don't you know that you were made to run the race? You've been knocked down, but you're not quite out. You're on the ropes, looking at the crowd. They cheer you on. Can you hear the sound? It's time to rise up and take back the crown. Don't give up, the prize is up ahead. Don't lose hope, this is not the end. You gotta remember, deep in your soul, there is a fire, and it's burning through the rain. Quiet the fear, focus your eyes. Don't you know that you what you're fighting for. Courage comes in the darkest storms. God gives you power and strength to endure. Don't give up, the prize is up ahead. Don't lose hope, this is not the end. You gotta remember, deep in your soul, there is a fire, and it's burning through the rain. Quiet the fear, focus your eyes. Don't you know that you were made to run? You were made, you were made, you were made to run. You were made, you were made, you were made to run. Oh, you were made to run. You were made to run. Oh, you were made to run. Oh, deep in your soul, there is a fire, and it's burning, burning, burning. Quiet the fear, focus your eyes. Don't you know that, you were made to run? You were made, you were made, you were made to run. You were made, you were made, you were made to
So far, we see that Evelyn and Aiden are, number one, they're in love. He is a dedicated guy to every area he commits to. He is a good Christian who's trying to set up a youth group on Friday nights and the weekends, which I think is really important. And Evelyn admires that in him, but she's distracted with other things. She wants to win, like that's her focus.
Yeah, I think what got me was the last time where it says, no matter the cost, she's not going to let this slip through her fingers.
Yes. I think sometimes we're a little bit like, Aiden. You girls might be dedicated to God, working hard to grow spiritually, but you also tend to neglect, your family, your friends, and giving them that attention that they need.
Oh, okay, yeah, I never thought of it that
You know,
way.
that way. Remember that God sees our dedication, but he doesn't want just our works. He wants our hearts to be completely in him as well.
Yeah, I had not picked that. Yeah, that's true. So sometimes you get buried or you go headfirst in church helping out every way you can, but you neglect your own spiritual walk with
Yes.
God because you think because you're doing his work, that's...
You are spiritual already.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is so true.
So, or sometimes maybe a little bit like Evelyn, who is so focused on her sports and winning, which is not a bad thing. It's good to strive for excellence and in an area that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good.
But not let it consume you.
But I think the bad thing is when you dedicate your whole energy into just that, where God becomes pretty much non-existent, and when you don't spend time with him or in his word at all. So either way, you can be one extreme or the other extreme.
Yeah. So I think we can go back to Ephesians 6:11, and we'll read the ERV version that says, "Wear the full armor of God. Wear God's armor so that you can fight against the devil's clever tricks."
So the devil tricks. I found that, how is he going to trick me?
Yeah.
But one of the way he tricks us is by making our minds blind. He hides what is true and he keeps us from seeing how amazing God and his word really is. And he whispers things like, oh, this is boring. Or, you know what? I don't have time for Bible devotional in the morning. I've got to get ready for school. I've got assignments.
Yeah.
And he tends to cloud our minds so we don't understand what we read, or we lose the focus where our brains, we're reading something, it's like, hey, what did I just read? And you reread and you reread.
Yeah,
and
and
it's
you don't
nothing.
get it, yeah.
And you give up and that's
Yeah.
it.
But I think we can't let him win. We need to break through those barriers. Even if it's boring, even if we have to read it 100 times, don't stop. Just fight through it. do it anyway. And it will get easier, girls. It will get easier once you start, breaking down those barriers and saying, you know what, I'm not letting Satan win.
Just think of something that you do or that you've started. Maybe you did some sport, or maybe you started playing an instrument. The way you started that instrument or that sport wasn't good and it wasn't fun, but the more you did it, the better it got.
Yeah.
So the same with your spiritual life. Don't let the devil, the enemy, trick your brain.
Yes. Oh, that's what's going to happen next week.
So next week we've got part 2, so get ready for that. And let's just pray to finish. Dear Lord, thank you for another new day. Thank you that we can start the week fresh and we can start the week with you. Help us, Lord, have a strong mind in you so that the devil doesn't trick us. I ask, Lord, that you strengthen our spiritual life and guide each step. Bless us and give us a wonderful day. In your name I ask. Amen.
This has been Gigi Radio signing out.